I'm taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
But on Saturday, though, we do have a triple header. It's actually a pretty good triple header, for Matchroom. Especially like that. Especially since the two of the three fights on the triple header are basically they are significant enough for the fighters. The main event, though, was it Diego Pacheco and Steven Nelson. That's actually a good fucking fight for 168.
It is.
Yeah, that's an outstanding fight. Like, it's funny too because you have basically the biggest difference is Pacheco is 23 and Nelson is 36. They're both undefeated and stuff like that. But for Pacheco's been moved pretty fast because obviously Eddie wants to kind of set him up for a title shot of some sort. I don't know if it will be a Canelo title shot or basically once Canelo lets the belts go, whoever knows.
Once the belts go, I feel like, yeah.
Right. Whereas Steven Nelson, like I said, he's 36 still, and then I think he spent a couple years out due to an ACL injury. And basically, we've been and you can tell the dude is talented, but basically we were just waiting for him to step up. So this is
mainly Terrence Crawford's main sparring partner. He's basically one of Bomax and Bud's guys. Really, he's like part of that camp.
I think Nelson will give him some good work for like 5 rounds, and then after that, I think Pacheco takes over.
You think he'll stop him or no?
I can see a late stoppage.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, that's all I'm thinking too. I mean, I don't know. It won't be easy because I missed Pacheco's last fight, but I am a huge fan of Pacheco, and I know there's been a couple of times where he looked kind of. I think it was Hitchens' card where he looked. Well, I think he might have headlined that one, but he looked bad too when Hitchens robbed Limos that night. You remember that fight, Ben?
Yeah, I remember that fight. But I mean, that was actually a harder fight for him than I thought.
Him, he didn't get the brother out of there. So there's been a couple of times where I'm like, damn, because this nigga's like 6'4", he's a long 168. He's a really lengthy, 168. So it's gonna be interesting to see because Nelson has, we don't know how good he is because he hasn't really been tested, right? So it's like.
Yeah, but I mean the height advantage is he definitely has the height advantage and I think a little bit of the reach advantage too for this because Nelson's only like 5'10", so it's like so that height difference is going to be crazy, But like I said, both of them have power. Both of them have power. Like Steven Nelson was probably the only one on that whole LA Riyadh season card that didn't struggle with his opponent. That's crazy to even say that. From prelims up to the main card, he was the only one in there that didn't struggle with his opponent in any way.
Speaking of that, I see Andy Cruz on this card too, right?
Yeah, he definitely is. But for Nelson and Pacheco, P, you said that Pacheco will probably get this on decision.
Yeah, or 9th round stoppage.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Nelson on this by stoppage. I don't know. There's something about. I mean, Pacheco. Because I still question Pacheco's chin and durability.
I think Pat's trying to get his early one of the year out of the way.
I mean, hey man, like shit.
No, that's a gutsy prediction.
I mean, so far I think the money line has it at Steven Nelson is at plus 255. Pacheco is at minus 340. They don't have the props yet for this. But yeah, I mean it's still a very it's a great fight, But like I say, because pretty much it's now whoever's going forward is probably going to be moved into a very, either to get one of Canelo's belts. But I don't see Canelo facing either of these guys, But yeah, that should be a great fucking fight. And then, like you said before, we have Andy Cruz is on here. Andy Cruz again, he had a little moments of little struggle against Moran, and then he eventually got him up out of there, which was good. Like he made the adjustment. He started saying all his punches and got him up out of there. So and again, Andy Cruz is trying to, obviously they're trying to accelerate him, as a lightweight, to try. I mean, Andy Cruz has been fighting nothing but people.
I'm starting to have second thoughts on Andy Cruz. I'm gonna be honest.
The reason why I'm not saying that because he's only has 4 fights. He like he has some upside to him, but with that Moran fight, it like reminded me like, yeah, this dude almost had 4 fights, and he fights like.
Yeah, real quick, my shit was tripping, but I got Pacheco by UD.
Okay, that's what it is. So
I got real quick. Let me predict. I like Too Cold Nelson a lot, but I do think I'm really high on Pacheco, so I'm hoping and expecting Pacheco to KO him like at round 8.
I feel like Pacheco got the better upside.
Yeah, for sure.
He does though, but I'm going with Nelson though, because Nelson actually. Nelson has been running work with Crawford for so many years. Like it's just like, I just think he's gonna make some shit. He's gonna make shit hot, but we'll see. But with Andy Cruz in it, he's facing Omar Salcido, who's known on Probacks for pretty much, I think, probably putting a nail in the coffin of the man that they once called Primetime and Little B-Hop. I think we all, Colbert, I don't know what.
He got his ass whooped on that program.
Yeah, Colbert got beat down. Like, I don't know. Funny things too is like, because I remember I'm looking at Colbert. Colbert pretty much has all the signs of someone who's probably shot, and it's weird to say it too, because he hasn't had. With the exception of the Rayo fights, he hasn't had that in the fight with what's his name.
Hector Luis Garcia beat his ass, right?
Yeah, Hector beat his ass. And then, the first rail fight was hard, and he shouldn't have won that. And the second fight, he got KO'd.
Second one was like late KO of the year contender. He fucking, that leap and left hook, was it?
He put him to sleep.
Yeah, he put him to sleep.
Yeah, and then Colbert, though, like, he tried to get Salcido to make him come back on pro box and just got beat down.
Oh, he got beat. Yeah, that was kind of sad to watch. I ain't gonna lie, that was a little sad to watch.
Yeah, it was, because like I said, it's weird. Like, usually I don't like to call a fighter taxed, but that's what Colbert is right now, and Colbert should probably not fight.
Because like I was heavily getting back into boxing, and I watched that that docu. Remember, he was on that Netflix documentary with a few Peter Quillen and a couple other fighters, but I kind of got heavy into boxing, and I was like, oh, this little B-Hop guy got a little bit of mouthpiece on him. Oh, okay, is he one of those young niggas? So I followed his career early on, and yeah, it just was kind of sad to watch this guy that's not become what somebody. Because he was supposed to be he was a hot prospect, right? Yeah, at one time. So
had an interim belt, and
he had the Reggie. I think he the Reggie WBA.
Yeah, he had the Reggie belt. So yeah, it's steep too. But Salcido though, like I said, his style of fighting is, I think he fights like your typical Mexican. Do we think that he can probably give Andy Cruz some work or a hard fight?
Yeah, for sure, because Andy Cruz don't have power like that. So,
and that's also true too, because
he's not cracking. He ain't cracking. The Mexicans are usually zombies, So it's like I know people are really like Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz is obviously a 2-time gold medalist, right?
Yeah,
but it's like, I think in the pros, Keyshawn is because everybody Keyshawn gonna run it back. I think Keyshawn would stop him right now, just because I don't. Andy is much far removed from in terms of where they are in their pro career. So I just hate people talking about Andy Cruz being Keyshawn's son and all that.
They didn't start pro at the same time. Like Keyshawn because Keyshawn's also been moved faster, but the way that Top Rank moved him was actually perfect too, because they gave him some hard fights before. And I think Keyshawn only had like one which was the fight that turned into a no contest.
The Albright fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Keyshawn, like, their development is far along. Like although Andy Cruz has kind of fought like the people that that can accelerate him. Salcido is more or less probably at his level, right?
Is it 10 rounds or is it 10 or 12?
It is 10.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say Andy UD, but I don't think he can get him out of there.
Yeah, Andy UD is pretty much Salcido's. If he does, I'd be completely surprised if he does get him out of there, because Salcido is he's actually I don't think he's been KO'd before, so he's actually pretty solid. Dude. I do think will probably make it real hot for him. And I think it'll just because but at least like Moran did, but at least Andy Cruz in that fight, Andy Cruz was actually able to make some adjustments, actually sit on his punches to actually really get him up out of there. But if Andy Cruz does get Salcido out of there, then I'll believe that he probably turned the corner. But yeah, I think pretty much if you're a betting man, Andy Cruz by unanimous decision is pretty much the way you want to do it. But does anyone say anything any different? Do you think anyone think Andy Cruz will actually score a stoppage or Salcido will score an upset? Nope. Right now the line is Andy Cruz is minus 1,400 and Salcido is plus 700. So, yeah, like I said, but Salcido was a big underdog against Colbert too, which was wild. So, yeah, I do expect Salcido to give Cruz a good fight, But like I said, if Cruz gets him up out of there, then I think he's kind of turned the corner a little bit at least on his punching. Because as far as he's still being trained by Bozy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's not.
Yeah, because I know Eddie really wants to get him in the lightweight mix. Just to get him with somebody. So he probably won't get a shot this year, but definitely by maybe 2026. Barring unless Andy Cruz gets kind of bumped up high in some rankings. I'm not even sure where he's actually ranked right now. I don't think he's number one though. I think Zepeda still has some number ones up in there. But that should be a good fight. And then the third fight on there, it's the fight. It's basically the up and coming prospect versus the faded former champion. We got Ernesto Tito Mercado, and we got Jose Pedraza. Mercado, I know because Lukey. Shout out to Lukey. Used to talk about him all the time. Because he used to fight on the club circuit in California and stuff like that. And Mercado can punch. Mercado has a killer instinct out of this fucking world. Mercado is a damn good fighter. So, what better way to kind of accelerate his progress than giving him someone who probably shouldn't be fighting anymore? But, it goes you kind of hate that Pedraza's in this role right now. Because, he got released from his top-ranked contract after he got beat down by Keyshawn Davis.
Remember he had that draw before with Comey, right?
Yeah, he had the draw, and then he had that horrible fight with Barboza.
Yeah, he had the Barboza fight, and then Keyshawn got him out the paint.
Yeah, so Pedraza. Honestly, Pedraza. Pedraza accomplished a lot, but I think he's seen better days. A former lightweight and was it 130 and a former 130 and 135 champion. He's Tank's best win, Tank's first notable win, if you want to go there. He had some hard fights. He had the Beltran fight was a hard fight. He had a hard fight with Lomachenko, with Zepeda, Jose Ramirez. Dude does come to fight though, but I think the well is running empty with him. And Mercado is 16, and Mercado's 16-0 with 15 knockouts.
Yeah, he's finally. I'm glad he finally with the majors. Remember, he was supposed to be on one of those cards, but dude went way overweight.
Yeah, his opponent was stupid overweight.
But him and his dad, I be watching some of their interviews. They stayed with Red Owl and dazn and some of the smaller companies, but they beat Lundy, beat some guys, but they can't even get on any of the sanctioning bodies because they didn't sign with the big dog.
Yeah. I remember he KO'd Hank Lundy and won Mercado
and won, and he also KO'd Nakatila.
Yeah,
Nakatila. Him and
he KO'd him in two.
in 2 rounds. Yeah, so it's he has the talent, but now we'll see because he talks a lot of shit. So now we'll see if he's really about it. Because 140 is. Obviously, besides, I expect him to KO Pedraza, but there ain't no soft touches at 140 after if you're trying to become a champion. That's for sure.
No, there isn't too, and I just hope that Eddie and of course, it kind of helps too that that Eddie manages one of the 140 champions in Richardson Hitchens, and and maybe it might get him to that, steer him towards that, But yeah, Mercado is a talent, so yeah, it's good that finally he's able to. He's actually able to get the shot. Hopefully, Pedraza doesn't come into this ring. Pedraza's always been professional, so I don't expect any weight games from him or any type of foolishness. But yeah, Mercado. I mean, does anyone see anything other than probably a brutal knockout?
Nah.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I mean Mercado. I mean Pedraza is crafty, but I'd say probably by 5 he might get Pedraza up out of there. Maybe even. But Pedraza looked like, I mean, he looked bad against Keyshawn, but Keyshawn took him like 9 rounds to get him up out of there. You know, and Keyshawn isn't, I mean, he has some pop though, but he's not like Mercado's pop. So
yeah, Mercado got some serious pop for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So so that should be like I said. I mean, those were like, you know, and of course you have Shakur's cousin. Zakian Moses is on there, so like, you know, the typical Matchroom prospects are going to be on there. Medeiros, you know, so I mean they're going to be there. So it
no
should
more
be
Mark Castro, yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no more Mark Castro. Mark Castro used to. I still run that whole bullshit thing that he would do, blindfold with the weights and like swinging back and forth and. No, what could that do when you let a German, like, you know, punch you up?
yeah. Couldn't even get a gift.
Right. But yeah, no. I mean, like I said, that matchup card, I mean, should be a good watch. Like I said, it should be, you know, hopefully the start, you know, of some, you know, good streak of boxing. I know